So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our very first speaker. This one is actually like so incredible. I'm going to read the whole bio because it's beyond what you could ever believe. Our first speaker is Dr. Emily L. Spratt. She's an art historian, data scientist, and strategic advisor working in academia and industry. She has been the art and technology lead of Sotheby's Institute of Art in New York, an expert consultant for the Campari Group and Unit 9 production, and on an AI Fellini film, the art and AI lead for El Arpage on the gastronomic algorithms, and the strategic advisor for Artery, which she pivoted into one of the first blockchain companies for the art market. Dr. Spratt has also served as an expert advisor to numerous institutions, including the New York Academy of Sciences, the National Security Innovations Network, ICOMOS, the Frick Collection, and Art Reference Library, and President Emmanuel Macron's Global Forum on AI for Humanity. Based in New York City, Dr. Spratt is faculty at the Cooper Union for the Advancement of Science and Art, and is currently writing a book on the uses of emerging technologies in the arts. She has completed her PhD in art history at Princeton University and did her postdoctorate in the Data Science Institute at Columbia University. A recipient of numerous awards, grants, and fellowships, Dr. Spratt's innovation in research has recently granted a prize by the Montreal AI Ethics Institute. Without further ado, please give a warm welcoming to Dr. Emily L. Spratt.
Well, thank you so much for that very warm welcome. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm excited to learn from all of you as well as today's session progresses. Okay. All right, my presentation is titled The Future of NFTs for Fine Art. Bernini's sculpture in the Cornaro Chapel of the Church of Santa Maria della Vittoria in Rome, first unveiled in 1651, has long been recognized as a pinnacle of Roman Baroque art, depicting the religious ecstasy of Saint Teresa as described in her autobiography. Bernini captures in marble and stucco the intensity expressed in the Carmelite nun's writings about her mystical experience of divine union. She writes, "I saw in his hand a long spear of gold, and at the iron's point there seemed to be a little fire. He appeared to me to be thrusting it at times into my heart and to pierce my very entrails. When he drew it out, he seemed to draw them out also and to leave me all on fire with a great love of God. The pain was so great that it made me moan. The soul is satisfied now with nothing less than God. It is a caressing of love so sweet that I pray God of his goodness to make him experience it, who may think that I am lying." The erotic and sublime are as convincing in the sculptural group as in Saint Teresa's writings. So powerfully is the sentiment conveyed in Bernini's artwork that criticisms of it have been made across the centuries, ranging from trenchant disdain of its spiritual inappropriateness to fervent praise of its aesthetic qualities. Although the artwork did not actually violate any of the tenets set forth by the Council of Trent in the climate of Counter-Reformation Rome, 2 centuries later, in the words of Jacob Burckhardt, it could be convincingly described as a scandalous degradation of the supernatural. While the ecstasy of Saint Teresa does not even reveal any nudity, its undeniably orgasmic expression of eroticism, which impressively managed to avoid ecclesiastical censorship, has survived unaltered and is recognized as a masterpiece of high Baroque art. Characterized by its strong sentiment, verging on the ecstatic, and its nearness to scandal, Bernini's artwork is an unignorable challenger to the rules and regulations of its day that fostered its polarizing public reception over time. In this regard, Bernini's sculpture echoes what I see as the comparable high Baroque state of NFTs. The ecstasy, also known as the Bitcoin angel by Trevor Jones, captures this phenomenon brilliantly, subverting the religious message of Bernini's sculpture into a scathing commentary on the profanity of cryptocurrencies. Jones depicts Saint Teresa enraptured in speculative lust for Bitcoin. The angel pierces her torso, not in fulfillment of divine love, but as a means to reveal a hollowness that is filled only by the consumption of Bitcoin. According to the artist, quote, the painting was inspired by the 2017 crypto bull run, end quote. And he wanted to utilize a powerful image that could be reinterpreted to convey the high emotion and insatiableness of some crypto companies. ICOs, influencers, and other over-leveraged investors, in the artist's words, that was driving what he saw as the delirium under the guise of self-sovereignty, morality, and utopian prosperity. He therefore reworked Bernini's imagery of the ecstasy of Saint Teresa and reimagined it with oil paint, video, and animation in an attempt to provide a message of caution and the need for responsibility. In Jones's words, the Bitcoin angel represents dreams, hope, and the desire to improve oneself, but it also acts as a warning to the greedy, self-absorbed, and negligent that without caution and integrity, those dreams can very quickly transform into something entirely different. What, however, do we make of this statement in light of the artist's choice to sell the artwork as an NFT? Is this not partaking in the seemingly unbridled enthusiasm for the crypto space and is celebrated for its transparency of a sort of unapologetic depravity for the digital? I find Jones's critique of digital ledger technologies and his choice of subject matter to provide a particularly useful lens in which to consider the role of NFTs for fine art. While there is no question that NFTs have empowered contemporary artists, especially digital artists, by providing a direct conduit to the sales of their artworks while also extending the reach of their influence, the adoption of NFTs for more traditional artworks, especially those that have outlived their creators, is less apparent. The use of NFTs for historical artworks has indeed been explored by museums and cultural heritage foundations as a way to provide funding for arts institutions. Digital facsimiles of famous artworks in museums have been minted and sold as NFTs, fetching sizable profits. For example, the Uffizi Gallery minted the Doni Tondo by Michelangelo and sold it for 140,000 euro. While this seemed a good solution to help support the funding of museums, just in July, the Italian government issued a hold on the sale of NFTs based on Italian Renaissance paintings. This ruling is reflective of the conservative stance of the traditional art and heritage world, which tightly guards the rights and control over all things related to cultural patrimony. Another reason that museums have been hesitant to endorse the use of NFTs with their collections is related to environmental concerns over the energy costs of blockchain technologies. Now that the Ethereum merge has proven successful and solutions to the energy efficiency of DLTs are in a state of improvement across platforms, this will no longer be a barrier to entry into the not-for-profit art space, and museums are already responding favorably to these changes. It is not surprising, however, that it has been contemporary art museums that have been the fastest movers. While any collection that has already had to adapt to the challenges of presenting digital art is rather more primed to be receptive of NFTs, for the fine art world there remains much reticence. Most significantly, there are undeniable, contrasting cultural values in the art world that cannot be ignored. It is precisely that which drives the thirst for NFTs in the contemporary digital art scene that is in opposition to the fine art world. This difference in sentiment is not unique to the NFT art world, but has existed alongside the entire digital art movement for more than half a century. What is new is how NFT hype has exacerbated these cultural differences within the art world. While the NFT community celebrates Jones's interpretation of Bernini's sculpture, the fine art world is quick to cast the artwork as a garish and commercial ripoff of a Baroque masterpiece, where the concept of an NFT as a medium problematically trumps the content and interpretation of the artwork itself. It is an immutable paradox that the fervor which characterizes much of NFT art is also the disdain of much of the fine art world. While I do not see this changing, what is undeniable is that digital ledger technologies, including NFTs, and a range of secure banking technologies do offer tremendous value to the very record-dependent art and cultural heritage world. In this regard, the number one trend that I observe in this space is technological convergence. It will be the seamless winding of a multitude of emerging technologies, including machine learning and natural language processing techniques with DLTs, into established practices of the art world that will likely propel its future. It is not that NFTs won't be a part of the future of fine art, it is that they will be there behind the scenes, providing a basic value add to a larger ecosystem that should not require evangelization. In the art world, where sentiment is everything, a culturally branded technology can be a problematically polarizing force that could, in fact, be more effectively deployed if left unnamed. Thank you very much for your attention.